welcome back, everybody, to a very impromptu version of IDRYB Live. I am here with my friend Sanzik. How you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Very good now that Depp's finally won.
Yes, very much so. So, before we get into the nuts and bolts of it, have you been keeping up with the trial?
For the most part, yeah.
So what? But you said you haven't been watching the actual trial footage itself.
I've had it on in the background, so I've heard it mostly, not seen it. But like I've seen a lot of the clips, like the main parts of it.
So were you expecting the verdict to go the way that it went?
Yes, very much so.
Yeah. So I mean, if you didn't actually read, what happened was there was two defamation cases going against each other. Amber Heard wrote the op-ed in the Washington Post about her experiences with DV and being a survivor and all of that, and then Johhny was suing her for defamation over that, because even though he wasn't named, the dates and events that were talked about in the op-ed were clearly tied to him and were not true. So then because of all of that, Amber Heard, in all of her pettiness, and she said this specifically, that because he was suing her, they were going to and putting her through all this and acting like she was doing a hoax, which she was, that they were going to sue him back for $100 million. And so we read the actually, why don't we just jump in and watch the exact video. I was watching it, and I was at work this morning actually, and then I had to leave. I had to go do some work. I had to go see some clients. And then by the time I got home, it was like 5 minutes before they actually read the whole thing. So, and it's only a few minutes. So let's do this. And let's watch her. Can we do that? All right.
So the verdict is in for real. Let's see what they've got to say.
CL 2019-2911. Mr. Depp's claim against Ms. Heard. 1. As to the statement appearing in the online op-ed entitled, Amber Heard, I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change. In the Washington Post online edition. Quote, I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change. End quote. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, yes.
Oh!
Has Mr. Depp proven by evidence?
Shout out.
That question.
Shout out to the lead attorney. Real quick. Shout out to the lead attorney and the chat who made this so much more entertaining than it otherwise would have been. It was so much fun, and it was really, really informative. So that's where I'm getting this from.
The statement was made or published by Ms. Heard. Answer, yes. Question, the statement was about Mr. Depp. Answer, yes. Question, the statement was false. Answer, yes. Question, the statement has a defamatory implication about Mr. Depp. Answer, yes.
Boom.
Question, the defamatory implication was designed and intended by Ms. Heard. Answer, yes.
Oh my God.
Question, due to circumstances surrounding the publication of the statement, it conveyed a defamatory implication to someone who saw it other than Mr. Depp. Answer, yes. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven by clear and convincing evidence that Ms. Heard acted with actual malice? Answer, yes.
Oh, look at her.
Wow.
Her face is priceless.
As to the statement appearing in the op-ed entitled A Transformative Moment for Women in the Washington Post print edition and the online op-ed, Amber Heard, I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change. In the Washington Post online edition. Quote, then 2 years ago, I became a public figure representing domestic abuse, and I felt the full force of our culture's wrath for women who speak out, end quote. Do you find that Mr.
Part of the big deal here was that the you know, the yeah, already there. Yeah, part of the thing was the title of the actual op-ed, and even though Amber didn't write the title, her tweeting it and having the title in the link and not saying anything, she could have saved herself if she was like, "Look, I wrote this op-ed. I didn't write the title. You know, so take it for what it's worth. This is just my experience." When she had tweeted it out, I don't think she would have lost.
Depp has proven all the elements of defamation. Answer, yes.
Oh my God.
Has Mr. Depp proven by a greater weight of the evidence that question, the statement was made or published by Ms. Heard? Answer, yes.
Look at her breathing
Question,
hard.
the statement was about Mr. Depp. Answer, yes. Question, the statement was false. Answer, yes. Question, the statement has a defamatory implication about Mr. Depp. Answer, yes. Question, the defamatory implication was designed and intended by Ms. Heard. Answer, yes.
Oh my God.
Question, due to circumstances surrounding the publication of the statement, it conveyed a defamatory implication to someone who saw it other than Mr. Depp. Answer, yes. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven by clear and convincing evidence that Ms. Heard acted with actual malice? Answer, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't
Three,
think she was going
as
to win
to the
on that
statement
one.
appearing in the
That
op-ed
was
entitled
really
a transformative appearing in the op-ed
Oh, the
entitled
jury
a
hates her.
transformative moment
Oh my
for
God.
women in the Washington Post
Like the
print
jury
edition
hates her.
and the online op-ed. Amber Heard, I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change. In the Washington Post online edition. Quote, I had the rare vantage point of seeing in real time how institutions protect men accused of abuse. End quote. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, yes.
Oh,
So again, they're going through the particular statements that were made in the op-ed. That there was 3 statements that they took out and said specifically these are the statements. And there was, you know, the things that she's reading off. Was it malicious? Was it fake? These are the parameters that the jury was looking at to determine these things.
Was Mr. Depp proven by a greater weight of the evidence?
Go, Johhny.
That question, the statement was made or published by Ms. Heard. Answer, yes. Question, the statement was about Mr. Depp. Answer, yes. Question, the statement was false. Answer, yes. Question, the statement has a defamatory implication about Mr. Depp. Answer, yes.
Yes.
Question, the defamatory implication was designed and intended by Ms. Heard. Answer, yes. Question, due to circumstances surrounding the publication of this statement, it conveyed a defamatory implication to someone who saw it other than Mr. Depp. Answer, yes. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven by clear and convincing evidence that Ms. Heard acted with actual malice? Answer, yes.
oh my God. Look at her.
As against Amber Heard, we, the jury, award compensatory damages in the amount of $10 million.
Whoa.
As against Amber
So that right there means that what's her name? Amber Heard has to pay Johhny $10 million. But
Heard,
we're
punitive
not done.
damages in the amount of $5 million.
Wow.
In civil case number
So now it's $15 million.
2911, Ms. Heard's claim against Mr. Depp. One. As to
So
this
now,
statement,
so now she owes him $15 million. So then she goes and they're now reading the counterclaim that Amber made against Johhny, saying that she is being defamed simply by going through this trial. And more specifically, there were the statements by Johnny's old lawyer in the last trial, saying that she was perpetuating a hoax. So that's what they're talking about here.
I mean, it's not
appearing in the
wrong.
April 8, 2020
Now, this is her
online
claim
edition
against
of the
Johhny.
Daily Mail.
This is her claim against Johhny.
Amber Heard and her friends in the media use fake sexual violence allegations as both a sword and shield, depending on their needs.
Ooh.
They have selected some of her sexual
Based
violence
on her
hoax
needs.
facts as the sword,
She's about to cry.
inflicting them on the public
About time.
and Mr. Depp. Do you
Cheers,
find that
man.
Ms. Heard has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, no.
Wow. She
As to this
lost on
statement
that.
appearing in the April 27th, 2020 online edition of the Daily Mail. Quote, quite simply, this was an ambush, a hoax. They set Mr. Depp up by calling the cops, but the first attempt did not do the trick. The officers came to the penthouses, thoroughly searched and interviewed, and left after seeing no damage to face or property. So Amber and her friends spilled a little wine, up, got their story straight under the direction of a lawyer and publicist, and then placed a second call to 911, end quote. Do you find that Ms. Heard has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, yes.
Wow.
So they're saying that on that point of the hoax and calling the cops and spilling everything, that she actually, or the jury actually went in favor of her. So again, we've got to see how much. But remember, when the verdict or the jury first came back, they said that there was defamation, but the judge had to send them back to deliberation because they said there was defamation, but they didn't put a number on it. And so there was a short time there where we knew, okay, somebody's losing money, but we don't know who, and we don't know how much. Any thoughts so far?
I'm still surprised she got anything at all.
Yeah, well,
honestly.
let's see how much it is. And
Proven by a greater weight of the evidence. That question, Mr. Waldman, while acting as an agent for Mr. Depp, made or published the statement. Answer, yes. Question, the statement was about Ms. Heard. Answer, yes. Question, the statement was seen by someone other than Ms. Heard. Answer, yes.
Amber's coming back.
Question, the statement was false. Answer, yes.
Oh, Amber's
Do
winning
you
on
find
this
that
one.
Ms. Heard has proven by clear and convincing evidence that the statement by Mr. Waldman was made with actual malice? Answer, yes.
Damn, she won on that, guy.
3.
Amber
As to this
won.
statement appearing in the April 27, 2020 online edition of the Daily Mail, quote, "We've reached the beginning of the end of Ms. Heard's news hoax against Johhny Depp," end quote. Do you find that Ms. Heard has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, no.
okay.
She lost on that one. So she
As
won on
against
one.
John C. Depp II, we, the jury, award compensatory damages in the amount of $2 million. As against John C. Depp II, we, the jury, award punitive damages in the amount of $0.
Does either side wish to have the jury polled? Yes, Your Honor.
So the wrong tab. Where am I? Nope. There we go. So, we see that she's been awarded the $2 million. So overall, Johhny gets $13 million. Let's get a little close and personal. So that's exactly the entire reading of the verdict. And so do you think that she should have gotten anything at all?
No, not at all.
Why do you say that?
Because how are you going to look back on someone that is not currently in his like hiring and then say that statement from someone who's not connected to him now is defamation for this case specifically?
100%. I definitely agree because again, that's what she was suing on based on what the lawyer said. But to be fair, I guess because of the fact that he was representing Johhny at the time that he said that, he may not be representing Johhny now, but because he's representing Johhny at the time that he said that, then I guess, legally or just, based on the jurors, decision, they thought that was enough to be reflective enough on Johhny. So remember that the original claims were for $50 and $100 million. So Amber was, almost liable to pay $50 million, and Johhny was almost liable to pay $100 million. And those numbers are a lot smaller. 15 and 2 are a lot smaller. So I'm wondering if they wanted to give some kind of back and forth, some kind of balance, and say, okay, we're not gonna. We clearly are on Johhny's side. Clearly, Johhny didn't was defamed by this. Clearly, Amber was malicious in this. She said all the things she said, and then of course she was on the stand lying. But based on all the other stuff that happened, we heard recordings of Johhny wilding out. We saw text messages and emails of Johhny going through and talking all wild and all of that stuff. So I guess that little $2 million is there to show, okay, I guess she did experience something. Whether that is how things should work is a very interesting question, but I definitely understand where they're coming from. I don't know. Would you have, given that Amber Heard does not have $50 million to give to Johhny Depp, if you were a juror and you were like, okay, Amber definitely has to lose this, what number would you put on it? Because again, the judge said specifically it can be anywhere from 0 to actually, I don't even know if she put a limit on it, but they were asking for 100 million. It could have been anywhere in there. And so they gave her $2 million out of her $100 million suit.
Honestly, I'm not sure she should pay more than 15 million just because I don't think she can make that amount of money in the next decade. But like, I feel like it should have been more in recompense because Depp is an A-list actor. He would get signed for like millions of dollars per role.
Yep.
So he lost 6 years worth of that simply due to accusations.
Exactly. And I think the saving grace here is that because it is now a matter of law, a matter of record, that Amber Heard is an abuser, and she is she defamed Johhny Depp by saying that he was one. That is a moral victory and a victory in public opinion. And so as far as his reputation goes, I feel like that is completely back to, I mean, maybe not completely back to where it was, but all of the bullshit that he's gotten over these past 6 years definitely is a redemption arc with this ruling. Yeah,
that's fair. I do see a lot of hate for him still on Twitter though.
Really? Like what? I've been so into the trial. I have not even really been online watching what other people are saying. I've been trying to get all this. So what have you seen out there?
She posted a statement after the ruling. If you want to go pull it up real quick.
Oh, I heard about that. She tweeted something, right?
Yeah, she did. And her entire comment section is literally just cherry-picked support for her.
That makes a lot of sense.
But the quote tweets are miraculously in his favor.
Let's see. Let's do some searching. So,
honestly, I think you should read that statement because it's kind of ridiculous.
Okay. So, can we zoom this in? Yeah. Oh, there we go. No. Okay. So, the statement that she put out 1 hour ago says, "The disappointment I feel today is beyond words. I'm heartbroken that the mountain of evidence still was not enough to stand up to the disproportionate power, influence, and sway of my ex-husband, Johhny Depp. I'm even more disappointed with what this verdict means for other women." You mean that you can't do hoaxes? Yeah, I'd be mad about that too if I was a woman who was trying to do hoaxes. It is a setback. It sets back the clock to a time when a woman who spoke up and spoke out could be publicly shamed and humiliated. No. It's a time when people who speak up and speak out about lies are publicly shamed and humiliated.
Look at the quote tweets going up in real time.
Oh yeah,
they went up 3,000.
12.1K retweets, 115 quote retweets. But finishing this up, it sets back the clock to a time when, and it sets back the idea that violence against women is to be taken seriously. I believe Johhny's attorneys succeeded in getting the jury to overlook the key issue of freedom of speech and ignore evidence that was so conclusive that we won in the UK. Well, that's because free speech is not covered, or defamation is not covered under free speech. You got the trial. You got your due diligence. That's what justice is. I'm sad I lost this case, but I'm sadder still that I have lost a right I thought I had as an American to speak freely and openly. No,
who's stopping you?
Yeah, you can still say those things. You just have to answer to the reality of whether they're true or not. And if they are defaming other people, then that's the way the cookie crumbles.
She doesn't live in reality.
Yeah, unfortunately, she's not the only one. There's as you said, there's a lot of people. So let's see some of these what some of the replies are saying.
Look at it now.
So the top one is, "You were so amazing and strong these last few days. I'm very proud of you, and I didn't stop praying and defending you every day. I never get tired of saying how wonderful you are and how much I love you. You are heard." Oh, that's cute. That's adorable. Let's see. Yeah. "I'm so sorry, Angel. Your bravery standing up for yourself." Yeah, these are clearly cherry picked. "We love you now and forever." Let's see what the actual real world is saying. If we back this up and go to the actual trend, that's just speaking of Saul Goodman. There we go. All right, so yeah, there we go. "Girls, stop! Don't try to drag the rest of us women into this. It's an attack on women. You're a liar, plain and simple. This is a you issue, not a woman's issue." Very well said, Christella. Retweeting the thing here. Make no mistake. Majority of people supporting Depp do not think he's an angel, but the mere fact that she went so hard with these ridiculous allegations and she acted like she was an angel. That's the reason people are going so hard for him.
Exactly.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. In Before Washington Post writes, "How Gamergate led to the Depp vs. Heard verdict in favor of Johnny Depp and the patriarchy." That's a good one. So we got Chris Ryle White. Who is this? Some art and film podcast guy. "Every Depp vs. Heard story I've seen on the BBC has patently framed Amber Heard as the victim and Depp supporters as dangerous and misguided. They are still at it today on Radio 4. This is why it's important to televise the trial. No one who watched it is buying."
Maybe that's why she won the case in the UK.
That's a great point. And this is a picture of her, quote unquote, crying on the stand. Not a tear to be found. There was one time she was crying and she was crying and she had the thing. She goes to blow her nose and she looks over. She sees the court photographer. She waits. She gets the picture and then she doesn't actually blow her nose. Another time she's crying and she's like wiping her eyebrows. Like, who cries from their eyebrows? Not good. Not good. But again, I just want to stress that this is important to me because, there are, there's so many instances of women treating men in ways that are not great, trying to dance around. Now, of course, I would never say that men don't mistreat women, but that's simply not the conversation that we're having. That's a separate issue. This is an issue of when men are treated that way, when men are abused, when men experience domestic violence or abuse of any kind. It's usually just laughed off unless you have hard proof. Then you're usually just whisked away. And yes, it is a little bit less promising that it has to be one of the most famous people in the world to bring this forth, but that opens the door for regular people. I wouldn't, especially some of the things that Amber's attorneys were trying to say were abuse, just making her feel this way or that way, or saying that, oh, if you want to do this and your dress looks like that, that's abuse. That's
financial abuse.
That was my favorite. Financial abuse, as he was paying for everything. Like, it's
how do you even control someone's finances if they don't give it to you? Like,
exactly.
That
she didn't give him shit. She didn't give him shit. But again, I just think that I can really see this opening the door for a lot more men who've experienced this to come forward. And, everything that Amber is saying about women coming forward is irrelevant because she is not the victim she claims to be. She may be a victim in some context. Sure, that I'm willing to have that conversation. Again, nobody, as the last tweet we read, talked about how Johhny didn't, posture himself as some angel, whereas she did. Yeah, exactly. We're not saying that Johhny is an angel. We're not saying Johnny's some hero. He's just some guy. And also, he's super famous and really weird and does lots of drugs and speaks very fantastically and poetically. But he didn't do the things that you're asking him, that you're accusing him of doing. And so now that that precedent has been set, we can look for justice being applied more equally throughout, I think. I hope.
Yeah, it's a very big problem when two broken people enter a relationship and then each one of them gets more broken, but there's one that's like breaking the other person specifically because they think it's their best interest to do so.
Yeah, definitely. So we got something here. What is this? I don't think I'm gonna be able to blow this up, right? So let me back out because it was bigger here. So this is a Reddit post. It says the case has revealed for millions the manipulation and gaslighting tactics employed by the mainstream media. Okay. So I don't know which side this is for. I've had my words twisted by the media before. What was this? I don't think that's them. I've had my word. So the OP says, I've had my words twisted by media before, but the blatant lies and untruth that have been reported on in this case have been absolutely appalling to see. From photoshopping tears onto Amber's face, you can find the originals on Getty, to misquoting witness testimony, we have witnessed amounts of gaslighting I didn't possibly believe. Let me just say, I'm still not sure whose side this person is on, because we saw I'm not exactly sure what they're talking about of photoshopping of Amber's tears, but it could be either pictures of Amber where she wasn't crying and she was trying to act like she was crying and somebody photoshopped it on to help her, or it could be the other way around where she was not crying, but they used just an ugly face and put tears there to make fun of her. Again, misquoting witnesses. There was witnesses on either side that contradicted each other. So I'm really interested to see where else this is going. Let's continue.
I think it's just her face. I pulled it up on Google.
Yeah, probably. The media can wear their imaginary halo all they like, but the truth is that seeing the headlines out of this case has been extremely triggering. Well, with language like that, I'm starting to see where this is going to go. As a victim of narcissistic abuse, not only is the media defending the manipulative tactics employed by our abusers, but in fact perpetrating them against us as we speak. Again, do you know whose side this guy is on? This is just the most vague statement. Like, yes, this happens, but how is this relevant to the case? I mean, it is.
It's not. It's an opinion piece.
I mean, no, but it is about the case. But I'm just, it's interesting to see where. So let's just finish up. Gaslighting doesn't even begin to describe it. It's abusive to the highest degree, and it's scary because if this is the way they report on celeb drama, imagine how little we can trust them on the matters of world politics.
You're just realizing that now?
Yeah, right.
That'd be my answer.
So this was in the Depp vs. Heard subreddit. And then the last paragraph says they have unmasked themselves for millions worldwide, and I think it's time not to just talk about it, but to hold them accountable. And I personally would say that is exactly what happened. But maybe. So really, the Depp Heard show was a realization that MSM is exactly. Boom! Not these lines, not Afghanistan, not the government destroying our country. Epstein. Yeah, this person's on point.
Not even that, just Trump in general. His coverage was like 95% negative.
Yeah, but especially as somebody coming from when Trump first came on the scene, I was very much in the clutches of the mainstream media, and I very much believed that the world would end if this man became president. And so, in one of the worst things I've ever done, I voted for Hillary Clinton. I didn't know any better. But of course, then the world didn't end, and things were not nearly as bad as they said they were going to be. Now, I'm no Trump fan. I don't like him. I don't think he is capable of being a leader because of how controversial and polarizing he is. But that is really, I don't think you can separate that from him. But because of that, it doesn't even matter what his policies are, because you have to be able to lead if you're going to be a leader. And yeah, so there was a lot that really I still can't believe I voted for Hillary. Still can't believe I did that.
I feel like there's two different types of leaders. There's the world leaders, which keep the international stuff out of our like our reach, I would say, like just isolationist kind of. But then there's people who can lead the country itself, and Trump was not that. He was dividing the country, but that's just because he's a bombastic guy who doesn't do anything he doesn't want to.
Well said. So look what I found. We've got Johhny Depp's actually, is it easier to see here? Is that any easier? Okay, so this is Johhny Depp's response to the win. 6 years ago, my life, and remember, keep in mind how fantastical he is when he speaks, and then you decide that whether the text or email or whatever it was talking about, oh, let's burn her after we drown her, and we're gonna fuck her dead body. You decide if this sounds like Johhny, if this sounds like that. So 6 years ago, I'm gonna try my Johhny Depp voice, but I'm not promising it's gonna. 6 years ago, my life, the life of my children, the lives of those closest to me, and also the lives of. Okay, I'm not doing that. Of those closest to me, and also the lives of the people who, for many, many years, have supported me and believed in me, were forever changed, all in the blink of an eye. False, very serious, and criminal allegations were levied at me via the media, which triggered an endless barrage of hateful content. Although no charges were ever brought against me, it had already traveled around the world twice within a nanosecond, and it had a seismic impact on my life and my career. Sorry, this is hard to read. It's super small. 6 years later, the jury gave me my life back. I am truly humbled. My decision to pursue this case, knowing very well the height of legal hurdles that I would be facing and the inevitable worldwide spectacle into my life, was only made after considerable thought. From the very beginning, the goal of bringing this case was to reveal the truth, regardless of the outcome. And again, I think that's a hugely important thing. Whether he won or lost, whether he was ordered to pay her $100 million and he didn't have to pay jack shit, I still think this would have been a win for him. For that reason exactly. Speaking the truth was something that I owed to my children and to all those who have remained steadfast in their support of me. I feel at peace knowing I have finally accomplished that. I am and have been overwhelmed by the outpouring of love and colossal support and kindness from around the world. I hope that my quest to have the truth be told will have helped others, men or women, who have, or those in between, who have found themselves in my situation, and that those supporting them never give up. I also hope that the position will now return to innocent until proven guilty, both within the courts and in the media. It's another big point about, when we hear stuff in the media, we are, even the best of us. I try to remain as neutral as I can, and when I hear stuff, I want to get the full information. The Kyle Rittenhouse was really the red pill moment for that, because we all saw the video, or excuse me, the George Floyd. Because we all saw the video, And I was, horrified by the video. What's going on here? How could this happen? What are the cops doing? F the police. Da 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 da. And I mean,
Until they released the body cam footage.
right, and still F the police for the most part. But what happened is a little bit more nuanced than what is in that single 9-minute video. That's just not the full representation of what happened. And so again, and what Johhny Depp here is talking about, the truth and innocent until proven guilty. That is something that the court of public opinion has abandoned a long time ago. I would say pretty much the moment social media became a thing, but I think even before that, the even though corporate news wasn't nearly as bad as it is now, in the 90s, you could pretty much trust that what you were seeing on CNN, MSNBC, Fox News was, might have had their spin, but it wasn't false. It wasn't fake news. Like, you would get facts there, and they would just be spun a little bit one way or the other. So, how old are you?
19.
19. What year is that?
2002.
Holy shit! So you weren't even alive for 9/11. That's crazy.
No, I was
Holy
not.
crap!
And my birthday's late too, so I was over a year past 9/11.
Wow, that's nuts. I remember I was in my 6th grade social studies class, Miss Schmidt's first period or second period. And it's funny because, I mean, it wasn't funny, but it was, I guess ironic is the word, because we were just in class, and a lot of schools on 9/11 were talking about what happened. They were showing the news, and they were, letting kids, maybe this was more high schoolers, because my 6th grade was in middle school. But yeah, they just left us in the dark about 9/11. And the like, just every 10 minutes, somebody would be called out of class, and they would be like, "Oh, please send so-and-so to the office. Your parents are here to pick you up." And we're just like, what's going on? And my dad was working in New York at the time, but luckily he wasn't there that day. So I had nothing to worry about, but I didn't know I had anything to worry about. I remember after, they let the whole school day go, or maybe it was an early closing or something like that. But then after school, my parents worked kind of late, so I would always go to a neighborhood friend's house who, my mom wanted adult supervision. I wasn't allowed to be home alone in 6th grade. And they're talking about it, and I was like, oh wow, there was 2 planes. Oh wow, they flew into the building. The guy must have had a death wish. I wonder what's going on. And oh, little did I know that my world would be changed forever. The world that you have never known was gone that morning. But I digress.
Yeah, but that also means I grew up with social media, so I understand it probably a little bit more intrinsically.
That's fair, but because I was born in 89, the end of 89. So my birthday is November 89. So I feel like, give it 5 years in either direction of where I was born, and of course I'm biased because I'm in this group, but we are the last generation who were children without the ubiquitous internet. When I was a kid, you went outside and you played, and you did that. And, video games were a single console. You had to be in the same room with somebody. There was 2 controllers. Eventually N64 came out and changed the game with 4 controllers. But, that's just the way that it was. And then it wasn't until I was in high school that, the internet and cell phones and that stuff really started to become ubiquitous. And so MySpace all day, baby.
I didn't have a phone until I was in 7th grade.
I didn't have a phone until I was in 9th grade. But you didn't need one because nobody else had one. I think my little sister, who is probably 5 years older than you, I think it was around 7th grade when she got her cell phone. But yeah, I mean, that's how the world is now. These kids, by the time they get to elementary school, they've got cell phones. But again, it makes sense because everybody has one. There's not pay phones. There's not, so the world has changed. So let's finish reading this up and see if anybody would like to come and join us on the panel. We would love to hear your thoughts as well. Diving back into Johhny's statement post-trial. So we finish off with so I'm just going to start again. I hope that my quest to have the truth be told will have helped others, men or women, who have found themselves in my situation, and that those supporting those supporting them never give up. I also hope that the position will now return to innocent until proven guilty, both within the courts and in the media. I wish to. Yeah, not quite, but hey, it's a step in the right direction. I wish to acknowledge the noble work of the judge, the jurors, the court staff, and the sheriffs who have sacrificed their own time to get to this point, and to my diligent and unwavering legal team who did an extraordinary job in helping me to share the truth. The best is yet to come, and a new chapter has finally begun. Veritas namquat perit. The truth never perishes. That's Johhny Depp for you. And so, it's very interesting that you compare the two statements, and Amber is already trying to set a narrative, and we women are set back by this, and meanwhile, the first tweet that we saw here was don't put us in with you, girl. We had this tweet here. Oh, we had this tweet here. Oh, no, it's changed. Where was it there? Well, we've got more. Well, you're not being publicly shamed for speaking out. You're being publicly shamed for being an abuser who's an egocentric enough to believe they're smarter than literally the entire world. You're being shamed for your lies. Exactly. Oh, this is a great one. You remember the tape? Tell the world, Johhny. Tell them I, Johhny Depp, a man, is a victim of domestic violence, and see how many people believe or side with you. Oops, this aged well. I gotta tweet that right now.
Yeah, she should never have said that. That was just completely dumb.
Yeah, I mean, well, it just shows the hubris that she didn't think that it would ever come this far. She didn't think, because of exactly the things that we're talking about, that society usually does exactly what she thought they would do and just laughs it off. Oh, a man being abused by a little 115-pound 30-year-old woman. Come on, you're Johhny Depp. You wouldn't put up with that. And then even if you're not Johhny Depp, oh, you're a big strong man. You wouldn't you could just Not anymore. That's not what we're doing anymore. We are here for justice. So Sarah says, another one. Disney and Warner Brothers owe Johhny Depp the biggest apology, and they should already be groveling at his feet. Amber Heard's cost him roles in two of the biggest franchises in cinema. She's an absolutely horrible human being, and hopefully we never see her again.
I wouldn't call Fantastic Beasts one of the biggest franchises in cinema.
Well, I mean, honestly, think about it. Name bigger ones. We've got, of course, Marvel, DC, Fast and the Furious, Star Wars.
Yeah, but like,
because remember, Fantastic Beasts is part of the Harry Potter franchise.
Yeah, but the Harry Potter franchise also has a bunch of fans who hate everything after the books.
I mean, I don't know about any of that, but the point is, the franchise is gigantic. So to say it's not one of the largest, what's a bigger one? Again, I say you've got Marvel and Fast and Furious, but I think that's it. Movie franchises aren't really a thing anymore. It's just about remaking old movies and old TV shows and old this and old that.
I think that's just because the culture is stagnating in creativity. I don't think that's necessarily indicative of the quality of the franchises themselves.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. It's easy money grab to just put out whatever is going to make money. But let's peep this picture here. This is a picture. So Johhny wasn't in court today, probably because he already knew he won, and he didn't have to be there. But look at this legal team. This isn't people who feel like they just got an abuser off. This is a picture of people who feel like justice was served. Look at this. Look at this. Does that look like people who are like, ha, 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 we got away with it? we got away with it. Like, that's not what we're dealing with. That's what Amber wants you to believe. That, oh, this strong man paid all these people so much to come through for him and da-da-da-da. But no, hon, it looks like maybe people just aren't on your side.
Oh, she would have been cackling like the fucking Wicked Witch of the West if she won.
Oh, yeah. I would love to see the statement. See, now the truth has been in it, and we got to do this. And she would be ready to put it right into something else. Oh, let's see. Oh, what do we?
I'm gonna
we
pledge half the money I won to ACLU or whatever.
Yeah, I'm gonna pledge it. I'm not gonna donate it, but I'm gonna pledge it. Let's see what Karen here has to say. Anybody special? Oh, she's an okay. So this is what we're. Oh, can you see that?
Yeah.
So author, Me Too, Weinstein, and director of gender studies. So what does she have to say? Karen, if you're posting about Depp v. Heard, please be mindful of the survivors in your life because they are many. Okay, fair. But Amber's not one of them. And Johhny is. Please share support services local to you, and thank you to everyone at the. Okay, fair enough. I thought this was gonna go, in some feminist way. I'll give that a like. I'll give that a like. Nothing wrong with that.
I mean,
Feminists
yeah,
aren't
but
all
like,
bad.
it's also not really related to the Depp v. Heard thing.
So we got Jolene here, who's already, again, spinning the exact narrative that Amber wants. Immediate thoughts on Depp v. Heard verdict. What does this mean for working class poor women with no access to legal resources? What the fuck does this mean for poor men who've been abused, who don't have the resources? That's the question you should be asking. You just saw an entire trial of a female abuser, and your first question is, what about the poor women?
Does
Good. Oh, you froze a little bit, so I'm going to keep going. But when you come back, we got a comment. Darshan is in the house. What is up? I would love to hear your thoughts on the verdict. But continuing on here, let me just see if he's frozen. But okay. So yeah, her first thing is, what does this mean for working class poor women? She easily could have said. Chris is back.
I don't know what just happened there.
Yeah, you were saying something, and then you got cut off.
I said, doesn't the court appoint you someone if you don't have private legal representation?
Yes, but which is a fair point because I'm gonna drop the link if you want to come up there, Sean. I 100% would love to hear what you have to say. But you can get a public defender, but they're not as well versed as the lawyers that she paid $6 million for. Yeah. Now, the fact that she paid $6 million and that is the legal defense that she got with I don't know if you saw, I went through all the closing arguments, and she was just rambling. The lead attorney was just rambling at the end. She was just a terrible job. And then when
blame, that's all.
Well, and
they don't have any evidence.
But that's her job. That's her job. Don't forget that as her lawyer, she has a duty to represent her client. So I'm not mad at that.
Present the evidence if she had it, but there is no evidence.
But even so, regardless of what the case is, the lawyer's job is to give the client the best defense that she possibly can. So fair. But she didn't even know how to ask a question. And it's not like she's just fresh out of law school. I'm going to assume that she's, didn't change her careers late in life and this is her first trial. Certainly not if she's going and getting celebrity clients, getting paid $6 million, and then goes up during testimony to her own witnesses, and every question she asks gets objected to because she doesn't know how to ask a question. So I am going to add another one of our esteemed friends of the channel, Darshan McAway, aka D Mac. How are you doing, my friend?
Oh man, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm trying to get everything situated. I ended up clicking the button by mistake. I was trying to get off. Anyway, what's going
You
on,
looking
man?
good, brother. So yeah, I
Thanks,
mean,
man.
you know, the verdict is in 15 million for Johhny and 2 million the other way, so effectively 13 million for Johhny.
13 million for Johhny. So, you know what? This is a victory for all the men, right? For
Thank
all
you.
the men who be telling the truth about how they don't abuse certain women verbally or physically. I got an opportunity to listen to this entire case from that Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Just listening to it, you know, I'm cycling and stuff like that. And the thing that tripped me out the most as the weeks kept on going by was what she was accusing him of. Where was the damage? What was the physical damage?
Exactly.
You know, where it's like, if you say that this guy was like beating you up for 5 years, you gotta have way more evidence than that.
Her first, the first example she brought up when she was telling the story, and I remember this because of the wording that she used. She said, well, first they established that he always wears his rings, those chunky rings. Then she was like, she used the word pummeled. He pummeled me. And then I think the lawyer asked, but either how many times, but either way, she pummeled me so many times I couldn't remember. And then the picture that she brought up was a picture of a bruise on her arm. She has a picture. Where am I? She has a picture like this, and she's showing here, and her face is cut off kind of like that. But you can see that her face is fine. Like, and then she's trying, you know, her lawyers were trying to say, Johhny's team is trying to tell you that if you don't have enough evidence, then it didn't happen. It's like, no. You had pictures of this, that, you had spilled wine, you had pictures of Johhny sleeping, you had pictures of clothing racks falling over, but zero pictures of anything wrong.
I tell you what, I'm happy. I'm happy of the, well, when I say happy, I don't mean like, I'm just so happy that she, you know, she's losing. I'm happy on the fact that he got an opportunity to like release this embarrassment of what he's been going through for years. You know, she got a chance to tell her side, whatever that may be. I understand both sides, right? But the verdict was the outcome. I had my closing thoughts about it when I saw the whole case myself on my podcast, and I knew he was going to win for the questions they gave the jury. You know, it was to me, it looked like it was in her favor, but it leaned over to him. So I'm glad he got a chance to win this defamation. I can assure you, he's probably, I bet you Disney and some of those producers, they're probably already thinking of a trailer for for part 6.
Pirates. Yeah.
And let me tell you that the whole world is going to crash if he gets to play Jack Sparrow again.
Well, here's the thing. I've never seen a Pirates of the Caribbean movie. I just figured, you know, when they first started, I was, actually, I don't even know. But, you know, they came out, you know, 6 movies over how many years? So I was probably, you know, in my mid-20s. You know, that was in my, you know, my drug era. So I wasn't really paying attention to too much else.
Worried about Disney products.
Yeah. And this is, of course, before I even realized what was good with the MCU. So really, I just had this feeling that like movies are dead, cinema is dead, and I just never watched them. But I guess I'll tell you what, I sure as shit gonna do a marathon, watch all of them. And if he's in 6, I will pay to watch that twice.
Yeah. But yeah, man, you know, go ahead.
I was just saying that, you know, echoing what you were saying, that even if he had lost the entire 50 million and didn't get anything, or excuse me, if he had to pay her $100 million, which is what her original claim was for, and he didn't get any of his $50 million claim, which again, reminder that the only reason that Amber decided to actually sue was out of pettiness. She said it herself. Well, they're going to do this, I'm going to do that. But even if, you know, everything had gone as bad as it could have for Johhny in terms of verdict, because of the testimony, we all, and like it said in his statement that we brought up a little bit earlier, the world got to see the truth. And so in terms of the public opinion, even if those 12 jurors thought differently, they are not necessarily representative of, you know, what the rest of the world thinks. And when it comes to, people who are paying to see these movies and what these companies are thinking about that, I'm very glad that things played out the way they did.
Yeah. You know what? Just real quickly, you can tell by the threads online and kind of some of the conversations socially. This particular case, it although it's like it's a defamation case, it has a lot of verbal and physical allegations of domestic abuse. Mm-hmm. And it's crazy how like the world is cheering in a sense, like, because that situation is an uncomfortable situation. I don't know if you ever got into an argument with a woman, but at some point things can get heightened, and sometimes people do put their hands on you and you go, yo, listen. The prime example, I had a girl, she got mad. I was at CC's Pizza. I'll never forget this, man. I think I got the scar off my face. I was at CC's Pizza. I took a girl on a date to CC's Pizza because we just couldn't think of a place to go. And this happens to me a lot. This happens to me fairly often, even in today's time. The waitress gave me a look like, I see you with your girl, but like, what's up with me and you? And the girl I'm with, I'm looking at her like, I don't know the girl. So we get done eating, we get in the car. The girl asked me, she's like, yo, what was that? I was like, I don't know. I mean, she was just flirting with me, right? And she was like, for real, you gonna do that right in front of me? And I was like, what was I supposed to say? Like, don't serve me the food? She just kept on coming over, asking me if I needed something else, but she wasn't acknowledging the girl I was with. So the girl I was with, she literally, I'm driving the car. She literally like hits me and smacks me. And as she's coming down, she scars my face. Like I can feel the cut, the instant burn. I'm in traffic. I'm scared because I'm holding the steering wheel. She hits me. Automatically, you kind of go like this. So I'm in the car doing this, and I'm trying to like get over it. I'm like, yo, what's going on? Right. So I finally pull over on the shoulder, and I was like, yo, listen, chill. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, chill. And if this man, at this time, I had way more going on than what I have going on now. I was so afraid that she was going to do something to me because me having the strength that I have, I can do a lot more damage. But I'm thinking to myself, how do I get you out of my car? Exactly. And how do I get you back to where I dropped you off? That was my dilemma. That was my conflict.
I wouldn't even worry about the second part. I just want you out. You can find your own ride.
Listen. I told her, this is true story. I told her, I'm not going to say anything to you. Do not touch me. This is over. I'm taking you right home. And I say, I don't want to ever hear from you again. I have never heard from her again. Never heard from her again.
I mean,
but
good.
But that what I'm saying in that situation, no, I never got a chance to tell that story until today. I only feel comfortable telling it now because of what happened.
Let's go.
I got more stuff. I got more stuff that I'm going to end up talking about now because women would do that to me knowing I can't do anything bad.
What you
know what I'm saying?
Exactly,
I can't do nothing bad.
Exactly like Amber said. Tell the world, Johhny. What do you think? Tell the world.
Yeah.
Tell the world.
That audio when she said you're admirable, I understood exactly where she was coming from with that, because in most cases for us men, if not all cases, well, some, I'm just gonna say some because I can't compare all of us to against each other. Some of us are afraid to do something because we know what the repercussions are. It's like I don't even want to argue with people. It's like, you got it. Because I know for me now, I got way more to lose than the next person. Mm-hmm. You could take a picture or video of me doing what Amber did to Johhny, and it's gonna mess up my brand deals. I already know it.
The accusation would just that alone.
So
what do you think? So what do you think about the fact that at no point did Johhny ever take that route with Amber? Like 6 years, they were only together for 15 months. They were only married for 15 months, and within that 15 months, they were saying like it was one instance where I think he said it was like 7 different rooms. She followed him. He tried to get out of the situation, let things cool down and de-escalate, and she would follow him. And then we heard the reporting. Why don't you just stay and argue like a normal person? You're killing me.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, listen, man.
What do you think it is that would take a guy like Johhny Depp, who's on top of the world, especially when it comes to women and fame and money and every metric of these high value men? He could have anybody. What is he doing dealing with this?
He was too entranced. He's just too far in that he didn't want to cut it off. Because like he thought he could fix her at first, probably.
That's probably a good point. I think Sean's frozen here. He might come back in a little bit. But yeah, I mean, he's coming back. He's coming back. I promise he's going to have a good answer for this.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna.
I'm gonna try to drop him out and bring him back in. No, all right. Well, he'll be back. But yeah, I mean, you know, the idea of I want to hear this. All right. Well, but you know, that's exactly. I think you're exactly right, Sanzik. That especially as men, you know, to shout out to the late great Kevin Samuels. Actually, this might be a Rich Cooper quote, but Kevin Samuels would definitely agree with it. That you know, men are the true romantics, and men feel so much differently than women do. Oh, did we get him back?
What
hey,
happened
yeah, you were broken up. Right. So yeah, I was asking about why Johhny would not, get out of that situation. Sanzik was saying that he just got caught up.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, and this, I had talked about this on my podcast, and I talk about this just based off of like relationship status too. And a lot of times, what happens?
What's that podcast called?
Oh, my podcast is called wildpodcast.me. Go check it out. We talk to New York Times and US Today best-selling authors. And sometimes if I don't have any guests, I'll talk about some trending topics. And it just so happened that Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard is the trending topic. So I kind of delved into what happens inside these high-value celebrity relationships, because I got an opportunity to have a few high-value women back in the day, but we're going to keep that on.
Hey, all right.
But when it came down to Johnny Depp and Amber, man, I've been in situations like that before. And just from my personal experience, you're not thinking about necessarily going to find somebody else to be better with. You're thinking about that situation like, all right, I'm going to give this person the benefit of a doubt. I'm going to stick it out. And then it gets worse. The verbal altercations get worse, physical pushing around, all that type of stuff gets worse. And then it gets to the point where when that finger got chopped off for Johnny, that probably was by far more of a tipping point to say, yo, listen, this ain't gonna get no better with her. I got to get up out of this, before it ends in death, So when it got to that, yeah.
Say again?
I said he was probably too distracted by all the drugs and the alcohol and all the friends coming over to keep track of him.
Here's the thing too. You got to understand too, and this happens in my own personal life. When you have a lot of different things going on, you're not talking to your spouse every single day. So those days keep on, rolling over, and then when you finally get a chance to meet up, it just explodes into a whole bunch of crap.
Yeah. And then especially the fact that they talked about how, they were just being actors. They have the type of schedule where they would be at this house and for a few months filming here and filming. And so, but that again, this all happened over the course of 15 months. Like,
yeah.
How does it get that crazy? I've been in some crazy shit. And Darshan, I know you've been in some crazy shit.
I think your problem is assuming it didn't start that way.
I mean, well, I'm not necessarily assuming if we are to trust Amber's word at all, she said in the beginning, it was all rainbows and fairy tales and stuff.
But that's the honeymoon period.
But exactly. That's the point, is that we all get there. And Sanzik, like you said, you just get entranced. And, it's very important for, Darshan wrote a book about this kind of stuff. you know, to understand that where you fall in these just in the world in general as a man, then you know, localize it to in your community, and then further down into in a relationship. And I mean, again, Darshan could speak circles around this about me, but do check out our conversation on the channel about his book, Girlfriend versus Wife Duties. But yeah, Darshan, anything to add to that point?
Yeah, man, I'm gonna close it out with this, man. Again, I'm gonna go back on something. I'm not happy that Johnny Depp and Amber Heard went through what they went through, but I am pleased with the results because it shines a light on showing people that you can't just say and do anything that you want to somebody without having a consequence to it. So, hooray for Johnny Depp for being free from the embarrassment, because it was such an embarrassment to hear the things he said to her and the things that she said to him. And it turned out to be just a terrible incident. But first and foremost, I want to thank you guys for bringing me on to the show. I hope you guys are having a great day. And I really expect for you guys to be extremely successful. I hope you get all your heart's desires. It's your boy, Darshan. I'm out of here.
Thank you.
All right, real quick. You do it so well. I'm going to give you the floor one more time because I know you know how to do your thing.
Hey guys, my name is Darshan McAway. I'm the host of wildpodcast.me. Go check out my podcast where we talk to New York Times and USA Today best-selling authors, and you can get some tips on how to market your book and how to be a bestseller yourself. Check out my children's book series, Anaya's Adventures. It's in every store across the world. We're doing big things. Hey, we may even come out with an ice cream. Yo, Lutch, thank you for having me on your podcast. I really appreciate it.
You are always welcome. Thank you for coming up, man. You have a good one.
All right, see you.
Bye.
Yeah, so I mean that I think that sentiment is shared amongst a lot of people, and you know, you're a little bit younger. You may not have been through some of the. You may not realize how crazy some of these. I'm just gonna say people. It's not just women. It really isn't. And I want to stress that you know, I completely am with the idea that you know, it was a toxic relationship going both ways. That is unquestionable. For your finger to be chopped off within 15 months, that's toxic. I hate that word, that phrasing, that the way that it's used in society. But if there's anything that is toxic, that relationship was toxic. But yeah, the fact that, you know, I was talking about men feeling more comfortable coming out, talking about their experiences, and again, Darshan is somebody who is very much somebody to listen to in this area. You know, he like I said, he wrote his book, Girlfriend versus Wife Duties. We did an IDRYB episode about that. He talks about, like, okay, and you know, little old me, I was like, well, what are you doing to that women would be asking you, what is the difference between a girlfriend and a wife? I realized he's this tall, dark, well-spoken man. I'm like, oh, okay, I got it. I'm 5'4". I don't have that life.
You're 5'4".
But you know, he really is very almost, if any of you are watching and know what I was about to say, I almost said it, and genuinely, but for those reasons, I didn't say it. But he's very good at you know, putting out the message that he wants to put out without saying without putting it in a way that offends people. And he was simply answering questions, and then to be able to be, you know, living the life that would let you have the knowledge to do that. I'm trying, buddy. I'm trying. It was a compliment. You know what it is, but I didn't say it. I'm trying. I'm doing my best. So to go from that life where you're living that way, and dating and going around, and then to get married and have a daughter, and then make this entire book series about his daughter, which we also did an episode about, Anaya's Adventure series. Go check that out as well. And he's carried in Barnes and Noble and Walmart, and that shit ain't easy. And you know, the fact that he said that, he's laughing at me. If you know, you're laughing at me too. Oh man, if Dr. Evil sees this, he's gonna crack up. But yeah, that just echoes exactly exactly why I have cared so much about this, and it's not just celebrity gossip. It's more than that. It's a cultural and societal precedent that's being set here. Yeah, I mean, any closing words for the people, Sanzik?
People forget that celebrities are human.
Good point.
Because they just see them behind the screen, but they don't see the issues that every one of them face.
Yeah, we like to think that, you know, you're a celebrity, you've got it all, you've got money, and you got hot girls, so
You're
that must
probably
mean
depressed even more because you have too much money and you don't know what to do with it.
yeah, it's well said. Well said. So, I mean, you know, where Johnny Depp and Amber Heard will go from here, only time will tell. But I really hope that, and I honestly don't like, you know, we were somebody in the stream yesterday was talking about Aquaman 2 and whether they were gonna boycott the film, and I completely understand if you are not going to ever watch anything that Amber Heard is in. Me personally, I don't really care enough about her as a person. I don't think she's that special. I don't think she's that evil. The fact is, this is how a lot of, again, and I'm a man, so I'm going to say, I would normally say women, but this is how a lot of people operate in dating. And so it's just the fact that we've seen it doesn't mean that nobody else is doing it. And that's really the crux of the issue, is that I don't feel the need to boycott her because I don't see her as any worse than any other woman I would see in my life. And I'm sorry if that doesn't sound very nice, but y'all bitches be doing this shit. So what do you want from me? But you know, I definitely think there's more coming out. Somebody sent me a video about Amber from a few years ago where she was doing some shady shit. I may or may not do a reaction to that, depending on how relevant it is. You know, if it's just some old stuff that doesn't have anything to do with anything, I don't really care about dragging her name. Clearly, she's been through a lot, and like you just said, she is a celebrity, and she's not a very nice person, but she is a person. And I don't
never
want
going to recover from this.
Right. And so if it's not relevant to the point that of why I'm following this, then I'm not really going to indulge in that. But if anything else comes out about the case itself, you better believe that I am going to be covering it. Sanzik may or may not be here, but I sure as shit will be. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you would be so kind as to hit the like button on your way out, I really appreciate that. Sanzik, I'm going to give you the floor if you want to plug your stuff to anybody. The floor is yours.
I wouldn't watch Aquaman 2 anyway, but not just because of her. And you can follow me on Twitter at SanzikC. That's basically the only thing I'm using right now. And there might be more in the future, but not right now.
Beautiful. All right, man. Well, thank you for joining me. And we will see you next time. Peace. So we, you know, this has been quite a roller coaster of a week. A lot has happened, you know, through the testimony, you know, Johhny's original testimony where he was talking at 2 words a minute, and then Amber's testimony where she was fake crying, and then Amber's doctor saying that she had PTSD, and then Johhny's expert witnesses saying that the metrics that they used to say that she had PTSD was completely ridiculous. And then Amber accusing all of Johhny's witnesses of being paid or coming out of the woodwork. She said Kate Moss came out of the woodwork to support Johhny. She came out of the woodwork. Do you know who Kate Moss is? If you're over 25 years old, you know who Kate Moss is. And she's not in the woodwork. She's a famous supermodel that Johhny dated. So shouts to Johhny. So, you know, let me know what you guys think. You know, this is a very contentious issue. And apparently, you know, because I've been so deep in this that I've got my own biases, and, you know, I'm thinking what I'm thinking, but I want to hear what you guys are thinking. Am I wrong? Is there places where I'm not? Is there something I'm not seeing? Is there something else that you've gained from this that we didn't talk about? I want to get as much from this as I possibly can, because I think it's important that it happen. And I think it's important that we talk about it, because we don't get things like this all the time. You know, there's cases of domestic bullshittery all the time, but it's not something that we can all talk about because we have the frame of reference of knowing both people in the case. And again, that's why this isn't just celebrity gossip. This is about taking what is out there and relating it to everybody else's real life and the real things that happen, just like Johhny talked about. He's been through so many things, but even as successful as he is, way more successful than me, he's still, nobody's listening to his story. He said he never even bothered telling that story about the women in traffic. And I don't blame him. I would care about that because I'm a nice person and I like him as a friend. But, you know, if I didn't know him and he just came to me on the street, I don't even know if I would care then. And that's how society is. And we got to change that. And this has been maybe not the first step, but a very big step. And I think that's a good thing. So let me know what you guys think. I really do want to hear what you guys have to say. And if there, like I said, if more comes out about this, I will definitely be here. So hit that subscribe button, hit the bell. And when I come out here, I'm going to be hearing from you. Oh, and we got somebody. Yeah, exactly. This is big stuff. This is a, you know, it's not a giant point in historical time, but for a lot of people, it kind of is. And you know, things are changing. Things are always changing, but for once, I actually feel like things are changing in maybe a positive way. So with that, I really appreciate you guys tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, again, that like button, subscribe. There are some support links in the description, or there will be shortly. But you don't have to do any of that. It is free to like, comment, subscribe, and share. But even if you don't want to do any of that stuff, or you just want to sit at home and think about how awesome I am and how great this channel is, you can do that too. Until next time, I am out of here. Peace.